Hello and welcome. You're with us on Business Today. I'm Aabha Bakaya. Here are the day's top stories. An exclusive conversation with the mega exclusive founder and MD of Sun Pharma, Dilip Shanghvi, tells BTTV about the company's growth plans and how smart investments are driving both short and long-term returns. No import duty concession to Tesla under discussion, says Revenue Secretary. This comes a day after reports of Tesla planning huge investments for an electric vehicle gigafactory in India. Markets hit a fresh high. Sensex zooms 502 points and Nifty up 151 points to end at new peaks. Positive global cues and hopes of a pause in rate hikes helps the rally. Investors wealthier by 3 lakh crore rupees today. They see digital payment system UPI spreads its wings to be soon available in France for transactions. Prime Minister Modi challenges NRIs to come to India and venture out without cash. World Health Organization seemingly dilutes its stance on aspartame, says moderate intake will not cause cancer, tells companies not to withdraw products with the artificial sweetener. From seeing profits plunge by 70% in FY18 to recording their highest ever profits of 8,474 crore rupees in FY23, Sun Pharma has made a roaring comeback. The stock price in the last 5 years has risen over 92%. What's behind the remarkable turnaround of India's largest pharma company? My colleague Neetu Chandra Sharma spoke with the MD of Sun Pharma, Dilip Shanghvi, in this mega exclusive.
India's largest pharmaceutical company is making a strong comeback after a significant decline in profit in 2018. With an impressive turnaround, Sun Pharma has achieved its highest ever consolidated revenue of rupees 43,279 crores in the financial year 2023. I have a very special guest joining us today, Mr. Dilip Shanghvi, the Managing Director of Sun Pharma. Remarkable turnaround, Mr. Shanghvi. I would like to ask you how the company is experiencing growth and which areas you are currently focusing on.
Our focus in the business always has been that each of our business should focus on improving its performance over what it did last year. So if I look at our major businesses, that would be our business in India, our business, branded business in the US, generic business, both in US, also in Europe, then our business in emerging markets, then our business in Japan and other countries. So I am expecting each of this business to be able to do better than what they did last year. And I think it's only because we keep on improving consistently year after year that we will continue to grow faster than the industry. At the same point of time, we also make R&D investments in such a way that some of them produce short-term returns, some of them produce mid-term return. And when long-term returns start, I think it is when the step change in terms of company's growth happens. So we've been making large investment in specialty business over last 5 years. So we have kind of at a position where it will start contributing to profitability and future growth of the company in a much more meaningful way. So I think I see a brighter future for Sun as well as the other pharmaceutical companies.
Indian equities closed at record highs amid upbeat sentiment globally, fueled by hopes that a softening in U.S. inflation data will see the U.S. Fed pause its rate hikes. All sectoral indices ended in the green, with information technology up over 4%, trading at the highest level in 5 months. That's the IT index. For the day, the Sensex up over 500 points, back up above 66,000. Nifty up 150 points as well. Top gainers today: TCS, Infosys, Tech Mahindra, LTI Mindtree and HCL Tech. IT all the way, as you can see, they're 4 to 5% gains. Laggards in trade: HDFC Life, Power Grid and Dr. Reddy's, Ultratech Cement and Titan cooling off a touch. Nifty hitting a new record high of 19,570 in trade. My colleague Sakshi Batra spoke to Ruchit Jain of 5 Paisa to find out how far 21,000 is for the Nifty and what the best strategy is for investors at these record high levels.
Ruchit, I want to ask you, how far is 21,000 on the Nifty now? Yeah, so I think markets would continue to achieve new milestones going ahead. What we are eyeing right now is 20,150. So ideally, as per technical analysis, whenever any stock or the index trades its all-time high, so it's a reciprocal retracement theory, which gives us the target projections or the next resistance projections. Now, 161.8% retracement of the previous correction that we saw in the Nifty, then but the one which bottomed out around 16,800, that level is coming around 20,150. So I think as of now, for short-term perspective, maybe later half of this month or early next month, we would see 20,150 getting achieved. And yes, once that is surpassed, then 21,000 also would not be, it would not take much time.
So Ruchit, now tell us, how do investors make money at record high markets? What's the strategy that they should adopt right now?
So one should adopt a stock-specific strategy over here. See, all the markets, if you see the broader markets, all this, most of the sectors have participated in this upmove. So I think auto is one name where we have continuously witnessed a good momentum of late. So I think this trend is likely to continue going ahead. Escorts, Ashok Leyland, then Tata Motors, these are some of the names which would continue this outperformance.
Another strong listing today, shares of Senco Gold listed at a premium of 36% on the NSE, with its share opening at 430 rupees against the issue price of 317 rupees. The stock touched a high of 444 before ending its first day of trading at 405 rupees. The 405 crore rupee public issue was subscribed 73 times. My colleague Sakshi Batra spoke to the CEO and the CFO of Senco, which is also the largest organized jewelry retailer in eastern India. Here's an excerpt.
Senco Gold, very well-known jewelry company in the eastern part of the country. You have a sizable customer base right there. The company has a vast retail network of 136 showrooms and store networks. However, if we see, a large part of it, 63% of the showrooms are still in West Bengal. So going forward, what is the expansion plan? How are you looking to expand your presence geographically?
So looking at the past, it speaks a lot about the way we will strategize for the future also. We are very conscious of the strengths that are there in the company, and we would like to continue to leverage on the strengths. So our focus for business growth will continue to be eastern part of the country. As you said that 63% is a particular state, which is West Bengal. 80% of our business comes from the eastern part of the country. Around 15% comes from the northern part of the country, and 5-6% comes from the western and the southern part. So to leverage the strain, to work on the economies of scale, the future will be very much focused on the growth in the eastern and the northern part of the country.
Okay. Mr. Banka, if you could take that question forward and detail for all our viewers, both in terms of the revenue mix. We got a little sense from Mr. Sen. He talked about 80% of your product mix is gold, whereas the rest of it is diamond largely. Geographical presence, he's talking about 80% in the eastern part. So if you could break it down further for all our viewers, going forward, what is your revenue mix going to be like? What is your geographical mix going to be like?
So see, if you look at our revenue mix, we see from 2-3 angles. One is the jewelry. We see our stud ratio, which is diamond jewelry. That is around 11%, around 85 is gold. Balance is silver, platinum, and so on. So as we move forward, we have to improve our gross margin and to deliver superior return. So that's why we are looking at improving our stud ratio. So if you see the average stud ratio in the market is around 15%, where the top player has got 25%. So we are definitely, we take inspiration from the best in the industry. That is our business model, because we believe in understanding the best and doing the best in the industry. So stud ratio is one which we will look forward to improve every year, at least by 100 basis points. That's one. But and as far as our business model from own store and franchise is concerned, 65% of our revenue is from own store, 35% is from the franchisee.
Let's take a look at what else is making news in the corporate world. IT services major Wipro has decided to cap the variable pay at 80% for the first quarter of this financial. It's also decided to defer the annual salary hikes by 3 months to October to December instead of July to September. Similar steps are being taken at other IT service companies as well. HCL Tech CFO said the company would be deferring annual hikes made to a section of employees. Foxconn reportedly is in talks with TSMC and Japan's TMH Group to set up a semiconductor manufacturing unit in India. Both Foxconn and TSMC are Taiwan-based. It's likely that they'll soon finalize details of the partnership to manufacture both advanced and legacy node chips. The news comes just days after Foxconn called off its chip-making joint venture with Vedanta. BYD, the world's largest electric car maker, has proposed a $1 billion investment in India to establish manufacturing facilities for electric vehicles and batteries. The Chinese company is in a JV with Megha to build a full lineup of electric vehicles in the country. Indian tourists will soon be able to use their Bheem and other apps like Paytm and PhonePe to pay in France. Addressing the Indian diaspora at the iconic La Sienne Musicale in Paris, Prime Minister Narendra Modi announced that India has tied up with France on the use of UPI. Tourists will now be able to replace their debit and Forex cards with their UPI-installed handsets.
फ्रांस में भारत के यूपीआई के उपयोग को लेकर भी समझौता हो गया है.
The applause followed by another teaser from the Prime Minister.
अब मैं तो समझौता करके चला जाऊंगा, आगे बढ़ाने का काम आपका है.
There was still more, a gauntlet thrown for the NRIs in France.
साथियों, आने वाले दिनों में इसकी शुरुआत आईफेल टावर से की जाएगी. यानी अब भारतीय टूरिस्ट मोबाइल ऐप के जरिए आईफेल टावर में रुपये में भुगतान कर पाएगा.
The deal with France makes it the 6th country where UPI can be used instead of cash, debit or credit cards or Forex cards. The others are Singapore, UAE, Oman, Bhutan and Nepal. Other countries like Malaysia, Saudi Arabia and UK and several in Southeast Asia allow remittances via UPI. NPCI is also in talks with other countries in North America, Europe and West Asia to extend UPI services. Although UPI in France will open up huge possibilities in the way Indians can spend, there will be no need to carry cash to spend. Just like international debit cards, users can make the UPI payments in the foreign currency from their Indian bank. An MOU was signed with French secure online payment system Lyra last year. The Prime Minister also had this challenge for the NRI community in France.
और मैं आपको भी चुनौती देता हूं कि अगली बार आप भारत में आए तो जेब में एक भी पैसा लिए बिना निकलिए घर से. खाली जेब. सिर्फ मोबाइल फोन पर यूपीआई ऐप को डाउनलोड करके रख लीजिए. आप पूरा हिंदुस्तान घूम करके आएंगे. एक नए पैसे कैश की जरूरत के बिना आप अपना गुजारा कर सकते हैं.
As per RBI data, UPI transactions stood at 139 trillion rupees in the last fiscal. This was about 73% of all non-cash transactions. According to a PwC report, daily transactions are likely to reach 1 billion by 2026-27, accounting for about 90% of all non-cash transactions. Another major announcement at the diaspora event was the decision by France to grant long-term 5-year visas for students pursuing a master's degree in the country. Bureau Report, Business Today Television.
The Finance Ministry is not considering any duty waivers for the U.S. automaker Tesla. According to Revenue Secretary Sanjay Malhotra, a duty waiver is not under consideration by the government. As Business Today TV reported yesterday, Tesla is discussing an investment in India to produce 500,000 EVs a year. Tesla is reportedly considering India as an export base for the Indo-Pacific region and as a hedge to China. My colleague Karishma Sadani has more on these duty waivers which have actively been pursued by Tesla.
Well, right, officials from the Ministry of Finance Revenue Department have in fact confirmed to Business Today Television that government right now is not considering or taking up any proposal on discussion of waiving off custom duty on Tesla or manufacturing of Tesla in India. In fact, government is more keen on the fact that Tesla should try and align with the Atmanirbhar Bharat or Make in India initiative by setting up a local manufacturing plant or tying up with one of the Indian companies in order to find roadways. Tesla has been complaining of the higher import duties and has been in discussion with the Indian government on a way out. In fact, the Tesla chief, that is Elon Musk, also met Prime Minister Narendra Modi on his visit to the United States of America last month, and they also discussed about the future of investments in India, especially in terms of the electric vehicles. Tesla is in conversation with the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, and they are trying to find a way out to make inroads for the company and also in a way that will stand justified for the Indian market.
Thanks, Karishma. Now, in one of the biggest announcements since Elon Musk's takeover, Twitter has decided to share its profits with verified creators. The microblogging platform will now pay creators with a share of the ad revenue earned from ads served in the replies to their posts. Users who subscribe to Twitter Blue and have earned more than 5 million tweet impressions each month for the last 3 months are eligible to join. According to owner Elon Musk, the first round of creator payouts will total $5 million. Danny DeCruz, assistant editor, Business Today, joins us with more on this. Danny, take us through this new revenue system for creators. How will it work?
So yes, Twitter is introducing the new revenue system for creators, which is definitely good news for all Twitter enthusiasts. The tweets that get a lot of replies will benefit the most out of it. In a sense, the revenue generated by the ads that are shown in the replies of tweets will be shared with creators. But the precise allocation is yet to be determined. Some creators seem to have already earned massive sums of money. One such creator, Brian Krasenstein, claims to have earned almost $25,000 from Twitter, which is roughly rupees 20.5 lakh.
Who's eligible to earn money on Twitter, Danny?
Firstly, you'll need to be a Twitter Blue subscriber. Secondly, you'll have to be famous. Brian Krasenstein has over 7.5 lakh followers on his account, and that's not it. You should have at least 5 million impressions each month since the past 3 months to be eligible for these earnings. Also, this new feature is available in countries that support the Stripe payment system, and luckily India is one of them.
All right, Danny, thanks so much for joining us with that. While retail prices spiked last month, wholesale prices continued their fall in June. The wholesale price inflation, WPI, fell to a near 8-year low of -4.12%, mainly on account of the high base effect. June marked the third straight month when the WPI print turned deflationary. Last year, in the same period, WPI was galloping at 16.23%. Overall, wholesale food prices were up 1.3% in June, with cereals, pulses, milk leading the price rise. Vegetable and potato prices were sharply down. In fact, tomato prices, which are up this month, were down 55% in June. Meanwhile, exports have plunged a massive 22% in June, according to trade data released by the Commerce Ministry. June exports were down 22% to $32.9 billion. Imports also declined 17% to $53 billion. This included a 19% dip in petroleum exports. A statement from the Commerce Ministry blamed the decline in exports on major global economic slowdown as well as inflation. The ministry said the dip was not due to a dip in volume but due to easing crude prices. Drinking Diet Coke and chewing gum containing aspartame has now been deemed safe, but in moderate quantities. The World Health Organization today declared aspartame as a possible carcinogen, but said it remains safe to consume at already agreed levels. Aspartame is used as an artificial sweetener in a large number of products by the food processing industry.
The warning by two groups linked to the World Health Organization came earlier today. It was a warning that aspartame, which is one of the world's most popular sweeteners used in products from Coca-Cola Diet, sodas to Mars Extra chewing gum, is carcinogenic. The organization said it did not have convincing evidence of harm caused by aspartame. and continued to recommend that people keep their consumption levels of aspartame below 40 milligram a day, a level it had set 32 years ago.
Working group classified aspartame as possibly carcinogenic to humans, that is group 2B, based on limited evidence for cancer in humans. This was specifically for hepatocellular carcinoma, which is a type of liver cancer. It shouldn't really be taken as a direct statement that indicates that there is a known cancer hazard from consuming aspartame.
In its first declaration on the addictive announced early on Friday, the International Agency for Research on Cancer based in Lyon, France, said aspartame was a possible carcinogen. That classification means there is limited evidence a substance can cause cancer. The WHO, in fact, suggested consumers weighing beverage choices consider neither aspartame nor sweetener.
If consumers are faced with the decision of whether to take cola with sweeteners or one with sugar, I think there should be a third option considered, which is to drink water instead, and to limit the consumption of sweetened products altogether. So definitely we're not advising companies to withdraw products, nor we are advising consumers to stop consuming altogether. We're just advising for a bit of moderation.
Meanwhile, some researchers are pushing stevia as an alternative for aspartame. Stevia is a sugar substitute made from the leaves of the stevia plant. It's about 100 to 300 times sweeter than sugar, but has no carbohydrates, calories or artificial ingredients. Some people complain that it leaves a bitter taste and even tastes like menthol.
When it comes to beverages, which are by and large the major source of aspartame in the US, water really is your best beverage choice. Unsweetened beverages like coffee and tea can also be good options, but really water is your best choice. So if you currently drink diet soda, switch to water or unsweetened drinks, or worst comes to worst, drink sweetened with stevia if you want something that has a sweet taste. That's a safer alternative to aspartame in our opinion.
Several scientists not associated with the reviews said the evidence linking aspartame to cancer is weak. Food and Beverage Industry Association said the decisions showed aspartame was safe and a good option for people wanting to reduce sugar in their diets. The WHO said that existing consumption levels meant, for example, that a person weighing 60 to 70 kg would have to drink more than 9 to 14 cans of soda daily to breach the limit, based on the average aspartame content in the beverages, around 10 times what most people consume. Bureau Report, Business Today Television.
That's all from us on the show tonight. Thanks so much for watching.